Jack's RPG Podcast.
I'm in Max.
Pursuing the RPG hobby with reckless abandon.
Why, hello, and welcome to season... Welcome to season 23, episode 10 of Happy Jack's RPG Podcast. My name is Stu.
My name is Kimmy.
My name is Adam.
My name is Stork.
Your mic is muted.
No, it's not.
Oh, maybe it isn't.
It's not.
It's just low. Oh, look at that. It's low.
No, I did my part right.
Someone messed with my faders.
It's because someone was really loud who sat here before.
Probably. In this
He was
episode
obviously
of...
a Sith Lord.
This episode of
Because it would
Happy...
have been a Darth Vader.
Commercial.
Oh.
This episode of Happy Jack's RPG Podcast is sponsored by EasyRollerDice.com.
EasyRollerDice.com.
They sent
really
samples. They sponsored last week's episode,
Yes.
for which we thank them greatly.
Yes.
But if you like dragons and you like dice, and who doesn't like dice?
Who does it?
Who listens to this show? Who doesn't like dice?
I love dice so much.
Except those Amber players out there, but that's an anathema. We won't talk about those kinds of games.
They probably like dice too.
They probably do.
Because they're shiny.
And if you like metal dice,
Metal dice.
Easy Roller has the dice for you.
Yes.
And these we should write him a song.
Write a song.
They have just launched their Metal Dice of Ancient Dragons.
Yes, the Kickstarter.
Ancient Dragon.
And it is badass.
Awesome.
That's right.
Accurate.
This is a series of dice, and they're going to have 4 different styles of metal dice with hand-drawn fonts that are actually little tiny dragons. I don't know if you can get that on a...
I don't know,
Camera.
but they're very cool
Yeah.
looking.
I don't know if I can... Go to the
link.
EasyRollerDice.com/dragon dice, and you can see pictures of them, because I don't know if I can get these on the camera.
Yeah,
But every number is like a little dragon. It has a little dragon head on it.
Yeah. And they're beautiful. Like, they're really gorgeous. And
Yeah.
And they're actual metal dice, not plastic-coated metal dice, because they've
and
got
they're
the heft.
Heavy as hell.
yeah.
Never step on that D4.
The D4
God.
is full-on Caltron.
But they're beautiful. They really
They
like,
are.
Like, I'm a dice connoisseur,
Right.
and I am very fond of these, and I want a pair.
You like this? These are what kind of
The
a brushed
gunmetal,
brushed,
yeah.
brushed silver.
Or, yeah, like they're not the shiny. They're like the matte silver.
Right.
And they had like silver, bronze, gold, and
Yeah.
what is that? Other copper? Or
Yeah, there's a
I
copper
don't.
one.
Would these be copper or bronze? I'm not
That
sure.
looks like
They have
bronze
they have
to
green,
me.
and they're painted.
Yeah.
The little dragon numbers are painted with different
Yeah.
colors. These are like, I don't know what, bronze and green, I think. But they're pretty awesome, and
Yes.
they're heavy as hell. And there've already been like 4 hosts who have said, "Oh, when you're done with the campaign,
Yeah.
the ad campaign, can I have the set?" I'm like, I don't know.
No lie, we all have been coveting them.
Yeah.
And if you've watched Happy Jacks for any length of time, Easy Roller's been a really good sponsor for us. And if you've ever ordered them, they do great work. It's always
really
good quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, their orders they ship them fast.
Yep.
After one of their very early ads with us, Tyler ordered some dice, and there was a slip up in the order, and he emailed them. Like 2 or 3 days later, boom! Here comes the proper order.
They're very good.
Yeah,
That was
their great customer service.
cool.
So go to EasyRollerDice.com/dragondice, all one word, all lowercase, because it matters after the slash. Mm-hmm. I learned that the hard way.
Yes.
And check these out and reserve your Metal Dice of Ancient Dragons right now.
Yeah,
and it's
very cool.
Kickstartering. And I'm going to check the Kickstarter real quick, and I'm going
Yeah.
to see where it's at.
Absolutely. I was looking the other day. It was very cool.
It's a catch-22 because it's like I really want dice, but dice aren't my friends. do I really need to buy dice that are just going to betray me some more? Even some really nice dice? Are they just because they're just going to f me off? You know, like fuck you, we're dragons. We're just going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And it's not Easy Roller's fault. It's mine.
Right.
I take full.
Now, have you
responsibility.
tried Easy Roller Dice at the table?
I don't know if I have. No, I don't.
Because like we play a lot of D10 based stuff.
Right, and I have not ordered my details. Maybe that's the
It
problem.
might be. They have hit their Kickstarter.
Nice.
I think last week they were at like 6,000-ish,
Yeah.
and they had a goal of 10,000. They were at 11,749.
Nice.
With 165 backers and a month to go. Oh, there's silver with blue numbers.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'd like that.
one looks-
And let's see what else they got. They have the sort of the gold and blue, and
Do you order? Can you only order sets, or can you order individuals?
Right now they're just.
It looks like right now they're
Kickstarter.
sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to have leather dice cases.
Nice. All right, I'm sold. I'm buying a pair. Maybe next Christmas.
And
if we're
they
gonna
got
get
stretch
them.
goals. Let's see what their stretch goals are. At
Okay.
21,000, they're going to have ancient silver with a red dragon font, and those are pretty nice. See, look.
Oh, I like those.
Those are
Oh,
cool.
yeah, with the red.
Yeah, that and high
Really like
visibility
the
for
blue.
people with old eyes.
But if you look at the video that they've got, they have some really good close-up shots. They're
Yeah.
really pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like great pictures.
Yeah.
in there of them right
Go
now.
check it out.
At 23,000, they
Like
have
dice porn here.
know,
Some really
right?
good
Yeah.
close-up shots.
Oh yeah.
that's the money shot. They got ancient.
those dice roll, baby.
You know what?
God.
I think Easy Roller might take exception to this if we get if we go any further down this rabbit hole.
Who knows? You never know. They say they love what we do.
Okay.
Now we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Ancient gold with the red dragon font at 23,000. At 25,000, ancient bronze with the red dragon font, and then ancient copper. Those are kind of cool.
Those are. Oh, I like
Oh,
the copper.
nice,
That's
yeah.
pretty.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Those
That's
are,
at
like, shinier.
26.
I wonder if they're going after dragon colors. Like, I would really love
They-
a metallic
They
blue.
absolutely
Yeah.
are.
Is there a metallic blue with like silver?
Well,
I
let's
would-
see. There's the Green Dragon collection.
Okay.
That's at 28,000. They have the ancient silver and then ancient gold at 29, and 31 ancient bronze with the green, and then 33 they have ancient copper with the green, and then it goes on to the Pink Dragon collection. I don't think there's been a pink dragon in D&D lore.
Pete.
I don't know who Pete is.
Pete's
Pete's
dragon.
Dragon.
I've never seen Pete's dragon.
Oh.
Both of either of them.
that's awesome.
Well, you know, he's.
I've never. When did it come out? I stopped watching
Look at
cartoons
it.
when I was
I
like
don't know.
14.
It wasn't
haven't.
And I'm
cartoon,
really
it was
old.
a Disney movie.
It-
and it came out in like the.
It got
early
re-released.
70s?
It got re-released in like 5 years ago. Like
No.
no, like a whole
No,
remake.
that one doesn't exact.
doesn't.
That does not exist.
That didn't happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. It's like this Superman trilogy.
No, I don't
Okay,
know what you're talking about.
and and this-
Poor Brandon
1977.
oh, then there's the Orange Dragon collection.
77.
I'm gonna. It's almost done.
Okay.
Purple Dragon collection. That starts at 52,000 in silver, and then gold, and ancient bronze, and ancient copper.
Nice. All right.
And that's it. Thank you very much, EasyRollerDice.com, for sponsoring this episode of Happy Jacks RPG Podcast. And if you like the show and you want to support the show, you can support our sponsors, because we love our sponsors.
Yes.
And our sponsors love us. And we love you, the listener, and our sponsors love you, the listener. And Easy Roller Dice loves you, the listener.
Why does this sound like Chicago all of a sudden?
And you love Easy
We
Roller
love
Dice.
each other.
So thank you
None
very
of us
much.
got enough love in our childhood.
That is very accurate.
So go to EasyRollerDice.com/Dragon Dice. I'll put the link in the show notes to make sure you get that. Thank you very much to them, and thank you for listening. And in this episode of Happy Jacks RPG Podcast, Steve from Atlanta needs some validation for his holiday game. And this email just came in today, and it said, if you don't put this email on your episode, delete it, and I'll send you a update on how the game went.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Johan from Sweden writes in on the sandbox debate, but this time about fish tanks.
There's sand and fish.
I'm
tanks.
excited. Eric from New Jersey writes in about the new world of darkness. But first, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at happyjacksrpg@gmail.com. That's happyjacksrpg@gmail.com. We're on all the social media.
Blurb.
We're on
Don't.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, happyjacksrpg, all one word, and MeWe.
No. He's
I'm
not.
on MeWe. I posted last week.
What? Yeah.
And I even read a post on MeWe on the show.
What?
So if you want your social media posts read, guess
No,
which
no.
outlet you need to use.
He's full of
Come
shit.
MeWe with me.
He posts like once a month on MeWe.
So far, yes. I've posted twice, and I've been on it for 2
For
months.
2 months, yes. Let's be
All right.
accurate.
Kimmy's right. That's once a month.
That's so far. But that's a small sample, and you never know. I have high hopes.
You just
That I
have
will
to
post
post every day for the next week, and you'll
Then
bump
boom,
your
I'm
numbers
good.
up
I'm good until
massively.
mid.
You'll make
For
it
the
count.
year.
No, that's
Yeah.
not how that works.
And also, if you'd like to watch the show live,
Yes.
if you want to watch the show live,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, you do, because it looks freaking good.
Look at these
God
faces.
damn it!
I'll take
Look,
that.
if
I'll
I'm
take
going to be
that.
live, they might as well be live too.
Exactly.
You can go to happyjacks.org/live. We start the show at 7 p.m.-ish
Ish.
Pacific time. That's Pacific Standard Time now. But
Forever.
sometimes
Yes.
it's Pacific Daylight Time.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
Well, maybe.
On Friday nights. I would let's just go to daylight savings. Just leave it there.
But,
Yeah.
aren't-
That's what we're gonna
aren't we?
do.
Who
But now
says?
they
It was-
voted on
It was
it.
a whole thing that we
No, they
voted.
voted. They voted to talk about it.
I
We
don't
voted
think,
to talk about it.
I don't think we get to
basically,
decide that, do we?
I was super in favor
is-
of it
that's the
until I
clock
decided
gods.
I was gonna. Suddenly, I'm like, oh god, how do we make the Google Calendar for the shows? How do we make Twitch run if it's all the same? Because then California will be on a time, and then
Well, it's the same in
Yeah.
Arizona.
right, but then Washington and Oregon and Alaska.
We'll have our own time. It won't be Pacific. It'll be California time.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't trust all the social media platforms that I have to coordinate for the
They
shows.
will. They will. Are you kidding? They're all based here.
Yeah.
That's true.
They'll all automate anyway.
That's a very good point.
That makes me feel a little
It's-
better.
And, yeah.
I
And
mean, I'm in
besides-
favor of not switching. I'm totally in favor of that for my personal well-being. But the stress of the schedule.
I just
And
don't
if
like.
California does it, how long before Washington and Oregon follow us?
Right.
Schedule's a promise.
It is a promise.
It is. It is.
Holiday game from Steve in Atlanta. Hi,
Yay.
Stu and esteemed hosts. Steve from Atlanta here, looking for some validation on a one-shot idea.
I'll validate you right now. Your one shot is great, and people like you.
And gosh darn it, people like it.
yes.
And you're good looking,
enough,
too.
You're smart enough, and doggone it, people
People
like
like you. Done.
I'll be running a game for family members on December 27th.
Mm-hmm.
That's post Boxing Day.
That's important.
Correct.
I'm glad that you now have told him that.
It is.
Yeah, that is the third day of Christmas, by the way.
There you
Three
go.
French hens.
I don't follow sports. I don't know who's going on.
who's boxing.
No.
The French hens are my favorite team.
I did
Right.
I did an arrangement of the 12 Days of Christmas for a caroling group,
Yeah.
and that I used to belong to years ago. And it goes through 5 golden rings, and then when it gets to the next one, it goes. When it gets to 5 golden rings, it's "and we'll skip ahead," and then it goes to the 12th verse, and then you go through the whole thing.
Nice.
Otherwise, the song is like 9 minutes long.
Right, exactly. It's ridiculous. Speaking of 9 minutes long,
Right. I decided to use Savage Worlds because I like to make my life difficult. Savage Worlds isn't difficult. I say this because I have played Savage Worlds online once, and that is the extent of my experience with the system. Well, there you go.
That's brave. That's not making your life difficult.
But a good GM won't let that stop him, right?
No, exactly.
No.
I have thoughts on that. We'll come back.
I
to
run all kinds of games that I don't know the rules to. Watch the APs.
I'm sure. I was going to say, that comes as a total surprise to our audience, Stu. You
guys
had
are-
them fooled.
You guys are braver than I am.
Somewhere around 10 to 12 episodes, I usually have some idea of how the rules work.
You. There's trouble sometimes with the rules for the game that you wrote.
I wrote that. Some of that stuff I wrote 5 years ago, and I just don't remember
You
it.
got him on the ropes. It's good. It's true. He's not denying it.
No, I'm not. I asked.
He knows what he did.
Right. I asked friends and families for some one-shot ideas for this and future games. I plan to run something once a month next year for anyone that wants to play. I got some great ideas from post-apocalyptic to silly fairies. The way my brain works, I decided to mash a few together and call it a holiday game. Here we go.
Cool.
PCs are members of the Stargate Command, SG-13 to be precise.
Oh, that's a good thing.
That's where you end up when you piss someone off. Like the military breakfast club.
That right there. You have me. You have me. Military Breakfast Club.
There was a single
That's awesome.
There was a single plea for help from off-world, and all of the other teams are tied up elsewhere, probably doing something more important. It's up to the SG-13 to save the day. They will gate to a planet where they will find forest fires all around, and then the Zerg come over the hill and drive them towards one of the few areas that is not on fire. The Zerg are from StarCraft, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Those are the little fuckers which like, oh, the guy's playing
terrifying.
Zerg, I don't have to worry about him for like 15 minutes. And
Right.
then,
And then,
they
and
come.
then 3,000 of them
There's
show
a
up.
flood
yeah.
of them, yeah.
Yeah, I actually can't play StarCraft because of the sound that the Zerg make.
Ooh.
Because I played for several hours when I first got it, and that night I was trying to go sleep, and I just heard that
Oh, yeah.
in my head for like hours, and I'm like, this is not the game for me. I'll never play this again.
Bugs.
It's up to SG-13 to say the day. They will gate to the planet, find forest fires, blah, 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 I already said that. And drive, and then the Zerg will come over the hill and drive them towards one of the few areas that is not on fire. They will find a ring of trees with stylized doors. The only one not broken in the shape of a Christmas tree. It will quickly become obvious.
What's this?
They need to get out of the current circumstance, so down they go. Into Christmas Town. Nightmare before Christmas. Except it's mostly melted and the buildings have been ransacked. At the far end, they can see a large globe emitting heat rays. And guarded by a troop of 40k orcs.
My God.
They will need to slog across the slushy ground, fight the enemy, and disable the heat ray to save Christmas Town. I'll play a little loose with the rules to maximize fun for the family. Can the brain trust of Happy Jacks come up with anything else?
Anything else?
To add / change for some flavor, or is that enough? Already a bit too much. I'm also including a photo of the final battle map I made. Cost about $10 at the dollar store. I'll show you guys a picture of that in a second. Thank you all for what you do. I wouldn't even have considered Savage Worlds if it hadn't heard some APs of it. Steve from Atlanta. No PS needed. It's edible email. Geesh. Or geesh.
Well,
okay, thoughts.
Okay, first of all, this sounds really bland. And it seems like there's I mean, it's just A to Z, like no interest. No. Wow, that is a lot, and I think it's going to be hilarious and fun.
All right.
I want to say, I don't think that you're making your life difficult by playing Savage Worlds. One, because it's a very easy system to learn, both as a player and a GM. And two, because it is very versatile, and it allows for a very loose association with the rules and still able to run.
Sure, I agree. Yeah, Savage, just read through the what are they called, special considerations rules or the special rules. Read through that page because that's all of the weird shit players always end up doing. And they have the little small section. It's only a few pages of special rules. Know that, and then of course the regular basic mechanics. And stuff. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I'll make the characters.
Yeah.
Make the characters. That way you can only include characters that use rules that you know. Right? Right?
It's a good idea.
My one thing, and it sounds like you know that your family will be in on all these things.
Right.
Which is super important.
Yeah.
If you're going to have people there who, some of them are going to get this and some of them are not going to get this, add a few more properties. That
More mainstream.
Mainstream, yeah. Because that is a lot of fantastic geek shit all put in one place.
Right, yeah.
But if you're like the one person who doesn't get any of it except maybe Nightmare Before Christmas, this might be not as fun a game for you.
Right. If you're not a gamer and you're playing for the first time, you may not know who the Zerg are, and you may not.
Yeah.
You will have no idea what Warhammer orcs are.
Right.
No. Yeah.
It's like if you're reading or watching. What's that?
Shark Canada.
No. Ready Player One.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you're doing Ready Player One and the only thing you're familiar with is Donkey Kong, like you're gonna lose most of it.
Yeah.
But if you know all of the stuff that's in Ready Player One, then that otherwise very tried story is really fun.
I enjoyed the movie. I really loved the book.
Yes.
Because I mean, the Tomb of Horrors.
I know,
Right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
the book is far superior.
far scarier.
But yeah, you're definitely going to run into that situation where it seems like an inside joke and some people aren't in on it.
Right.
Where it is an inside joke basically and some people aren't in on it. So just like think about that. Maybe your family will all get it and that's fantastic. But if like grandma's going to play and she's not going to get any of that, maybe tie in something else that she might get.
Mayberry RFD.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Oh my god.
Gomer Pyle, surprise!
See,
I'm being facetious.
and I'm busy thinking that
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'm totally busy thinking that they can find a package that says Regile on it from the Christmas Story. You know, it's foreign. It's Italian. And in it, they find a horn that they blow on, and the Grinch will show up to help them defeat the 40k orcs. Because at that point, they're going to be tired and out of mana.
Yeah.
And be prepared for them when they get to that forest to not go in the Christmas store. Just be ready for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna be
Right.
like,
That would be
"Can
the
we
first
just
thing I'd
face down
do."
the Zerg?"
One thing I would like to say about Savage Worlds is it is a lot on the players. There is some online resources for downloading player mats.
Oh yeah, they have good.
And
they're
the player
good
mats are
premise.
actually very, very helpful. They show you what dice, in what order, the cards because of all of that, and some of the special moves. They're all on one, and just download them, print them, and hand them out to all your players along with the characters, and then they can just look there. They know what they're doing. It saves a lot on your end. Where you don't have to sit around and go, what? It's all right there in front of them.
Yeah.
It really is. It seems stupid, but it's perfect.
It doesn't
It
seem
helps
stupid.
a lot.
Nothing about that seems stupid.
I think you have enough here. I would be afraid to add more.
I mean, you're probably running a few hours of game, and it looks like he's got like 3 distinct scenes,
Yeah.
which I think is probably enough
Yeah.
for that kind of a game. But always have something in your hip pocket.
Yeah.
Have some other common trope that you can throw in.
Yeah.
Maybe something more accessible.
Well, and I would think about. I mean, maybe you already have, but who is the bad guy? Who has created this heat ray and has engineered all this?
The
That
Grinch.
could be if you run
Yeah.
short.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Oh,
If
yeah,
you-
the Grinch. Yeah.
Yeah. If you run short, you'll want to know who that is in case they get to that, and they're like, oh, "Okay, we stopped the heat ray, but who did this?"
He set up a giant magnifying glass on his mountaintop
Right.
abode.
Yes.
I wonder if it would be fun. I wonder if it'd be fun if all
Because he
the.
once likes burning who.
I wonder if it'd be fun if all the characters that you make are characters from Christmas stories. So you could have Scrooge.
Yeah.
Right.
You could have Kevin from Home Alone. Mm-hmm. You could have the kid from the Toy Story. You know, it's
Will
like
Bailey?
who's very good with guns. You'll shoot your eye out.
Right, yeah.
So he's a gunman. Kevin is all about traps.
Yeah.
You've got Scrooge, who's very sort of thoughtful and I don't know. Maybe you could actually make him a Wolverine melee character because that would be sort of because he's so ornery.
Or what's the ghost that visits him that used to be his partner?
Oh,
Marley.
Jacob Marley.
Marley,
Yeah.
yeah.
With the giant whipping chain.
Oh, there you
Right?
go.
Yeah.
He's a rogue.
Yeah.
Maybe he can go invisible.
Right? Yeah. The other thing you could do is, if you want to make it even more Christmassy, is instead of SG-13, maybe they're like crack team of elves, a la Takeoff and Landing. You guys see the Takeoff and Landing short?
Yeah.
This is brilliant. But little super spy elves, or or other characters like Jack Frost and what was it?
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. Right?
Burl Ives.
What was the?
There was the Abominable Snowman, and then there was the Land of Forgotten Toys and Rudolph. And
I'm
yeah.
Mr. Heat Miser.
The Heat Miser. Those guys
I'm
are
Mr.
OPs.
Sun.
But you could do something like that, and then instead of Zurg, maybe it's all a bunch of corrupted zombie snowmen or
Crazy
something
little toys.
or crazy toys. Yeah.
The misfit
yeah.
toys are taking over.
Or it's Gremlins.
Oh yeah, that's right, Gremlins. That's a great
That was a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're running away with your plot, so I'm sorry about that.
But if those would be suggestions if you wanted to make it more Christmassy or broad Christmassy as opposed to nerd Christmassy.
Yeah.
But not that you have to. These
No.
are awesome ideas, assuming everybody at the table is gonna
Yeah,
get in.
got the buy-in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Excellent.
Which maybe they do. Awesome.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Steve from Atlanta. Longtime writer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That is the
Keeping the sandbox argument going, Johan from
There's a
Sweden.
reset button.
Hello again, douchebags. Johan from Sweden here again. I thought I had fulfilled my duty by writing you this week already, but you keep being pissed off on air, so now I want to join in the fray.
Yes.
Thus is writing again.
Yay.
In 2306, that's not the year, but
I was
the...
gonna say this.
I
is a
was
long
delighted
time
to
from
listen to your heated debate on the definition of sandbox game. I think Kimmy made a new record on the number of fuck in a sentence. I offer you
Possible.
another metaphor for an open world game. The
Which
fish
means that I have
tank.
a lot of fucks to get.
The fish tank.
The
I'm
fish
keen to
tank.
hear about the fish tank.
I do not know if this is a common term in English RPG lingo, but it has become popular in Sweden.
You know what? I think you're bullshitting us, but we'll talk about it anyway. Go ahead.
Probably,
Swedish
but
fish.
we might be getting
Favorites.
I think we're being trolled, but
we
go
might be
ahead.
getting trolled.
We're going to pretend we're not.
Probably by the extensive use of the largest Swedish web forum. The fish tank is a way for a GM to structure a campaign, and the basic idea is that GM defines the location of the game, be it a room or a planet. This is the tank part of the metaphor. And secondly, creates a bunch of NPCs. These, along with the PCs, are the fish. The game-to-game planning then consists of figuring out which fish responds to the actions of the other fish, be it actions that were played out on screen or actions of NPC fish did behind the scenes as a response to the actions of some earlier session. Given a competent GM that can keep track of all the fish, this can lead to very dynamic games where any actions of the PCs, including inaction, can have consequences. What are your thoughts on this? Is this something that rhymes with any of your definitions of sandbox? Cheers, Jackers. P.S. May all your fish be huge and ferocious. P.P.S. Sharks in the water. P.P.P.S. Pass popcorn. I don't think he's trolling us, but I find the Swedish fish thing, Adam,
Right.
Yes.
perfect. Well spotted.
Thank
Well
you.
spotted.
Best candy.
Do
Best
they
candy.
call them Swedish fish in Sweden?
I don't know if they do.
Probably.
To the Googles. I don't have my phone with
Yeah.
me.
I don't know.
They should
It
find
might be
them
like
and send
French
them to
fries.
us.
Right?
Yeah, they call them palm fish.
They just call them fish.
Do their
Ludwig-
oceans have delicious gelatinized fish?
Right?
Yum.
And just like Germany's full of gummy bears, you know?
Right,
the forest
yeah.
of Black Forest is full of
Goomy bears.
goomy bears, yeah.
But to take this seriously, because I still think you're trolling us, but to take it, because there are other trolls in Sweden, or is that Norway? That's Norway.
That's
isn't it?
Norway.
Norway definitely has
Those
trolls.
are two different places.
But they're right next to each other,
All
right?
of Scandinavia
I
has
am in
trolls.
the...
Yeah, all of Scandinavia.
Okay,
has
see,
trolls.
they crossed the border. All right.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Why,
this is pretty much how I run games, except
No.
it's not a fish bowl,
Metaphor.
it's a fish ocean.
Okay.
But the idea of here are the NPCs and how are they reacting to the events that are happening? How are the players changing what's going on inside? I mean, that's a real basic way of GMing,
Totally.
isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what I say when I say sandbox. This is kind of a better, more, I don't know if it's more detailed. I don't know, a different description of when I say sandbox. This is kind of what I mean. Although I don't like fish tank because I worked with fish tanks for a really long time. They're like, I don't know.
I keep thinking
Well-
of Spock's head sitting in quiet
So we need to make
contemplation, and
Okay.
then someone comes by and sprinkles food.
Here's-
Well, name it like we should call it like a pool table game. Because that, like, you have your thing, all the things will hit each other and bounce off and, like, create ricochets. So,
Similar metaphor.
Yeah,
I think.
but much cooler.
Here's what I hear.
Well, in Sweden, fish tanks are a solid block of ice, right? It's that cold, right? Am I wrong?
Fact.
So it's a bunch of dead fish stuck in a
So they
solid
can't
block of
react.
ice covered in
But
glass.
now we learned from the permafrost that we can defrost them. They will still be alive later, 2,000 years
Like
later.
those 30,000-year-old worms. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, all right. I have.
We should start drinking after the show starts.
Too late.
Why would we start that 10
No.
years in?
No.
Adam, you're gonna have to fight for your way to get your statement out.
Okay.
Adam has the
now
floor.
I have a lot of thoughts because I have been out of the sandbox debate. I have not been on any of the episodes with the sandbox / open world / fish tank debate. I'm going to need more of that one.
Clearly.
We just lost like half the listeners. They're like, fuck this thing.
Yeah. No, don't go away. Don't go away. I'm about to take it to school. Okay. This whole like
Fish school. I get it. That's very
All
funny.
right. I'm gonna give like
No, that was yours.
You guys, you gotta,
Tanks.
That was
you
yours.
gotta-
You don't want
yours.
to. You don't
you
want to
gotta
cross the
scale back
streams.
on the puns.
tanks.
Nobody got it. Nobody heard me.
I heard you.
Right? Scale back on the puns.
It was funny.
Nice.
I suck at these.
Okay, that's deep. Okay. All right. First of all, I'm going to say, okay, I can see a nice little intellectual nuance here with like a fish tank. You're populating an area with characters, NPCs, as opposed to a sandbox where you're populating it with toys, objects, things to interact with, plots, etc.
Also, fish die.
Also fish die, and they don't remember shit.
And then they become toys.
And
Fish
I've
can die.
been
Yeah.
I've been with GMs who they make characters and then they don't remember like a session later what that character is like.
I'm sitting right
that?
here.
That's called
I'm
a
sitting
goldfish
right here.
GM.
That's
Yeah.
terrible. What GM
And it
is
is-
like
and
that?
it is awful.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's a very tall man. He's very short, according on April 17th.
Thank you, Samantha, for your notes. Thank you. Continue.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, okay, so the whole like sandbox open world debate. I'm gonna break it down for you here. This is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I call bullshit. What?
So break it down.
Break it down. I call absolute, complete, and utter bullshit. Shenanigans. It doesn't matter the difference between a sandbox and an open world. Especially when it comes to role-playing games, because a role-playing game is not a static thing that a player or players interact with the way a video game is. And I think there was one episode where you were like, hey, this is a video game term. Don't think it really fits. I'm gonna. One of you was
That's
it?
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
well, you
said
it was
fit,
yeah.
and I
Kimmy's-
said I'd learned it from video
Yes.
games.
Right.
Yeah.
Kimmy identified that it was a video game term, and
Right.
Stu was like, "Yeah, I don't know that it fits." And exactly, it does not fit. This is a bullshit debate. It's like player agency. Just let it go. Let it
Then we're not
go.
going to have any fucking content. Stop!
I do like fish tanks because, like, having had to deal with them for many, many years.
Yeah.
I actually worked for marine biotoxicology. I was an intern for during high school.
Did
and
you say
beginning of college.
marine biotoxicology?
Yeah.
You need to
So
drink more.
no, it's
But
this,
like you like
the study
took
of
care of pufferfish?
some of them, like the study of toxic marine animals. Yeah, that's what he was.
That's
and
fascinating.
Yeah, and I was his
And
intern.
scary.
Well, yeah, but I was cleaning fish tank filters. Like, it wasn't like I was handling them. Like, I was the intern. I filed shit, and I fed the fish, and I cleaned the tanks.
I guarantee you were a specimen. He just gave go over there and clean that filter, and he was watching.
He wasn't actually. I listened to Rent all day. That's what I did. I was there for like 6 hours a week. I like the idea of fish tank because it is very complex. There's like the pH balance. There's the fish that will eat the other fish. Like, that to me is actually a much better description, as dorky as that is, of what happens in a good RPG.
I agree with you, but I don't think any sane GM is calculating this stuff out ahead of time.
No.
I think it's more like Schrodinger's goldfish,
Yeah.
Yes.
where you are going to, when you get it to a situation, you're going to meet X NPC.
Right.
You're going to say, okay, these things have happened. How has this affected X NPC?
That's why.
You're going to do it in the moment.
Right,
You're
that's-
not going to do it ahead of time.
Right.
Right,
You
but
can't.
that's how you take care of a fish tank. You introduce a new fish to the fish tank. You're like, I hope it doesn't eat the other fish. I hope the pH doesn't kill this new fish. Like,
Right.
that you
Oh,
are
no,
actively reacting.
Nemo is upside down.
Yeah.
I know I'm mixing fresh and saltwater metaphors here.
Right? No, it's fine. but I'm saying, like, you can't, like,
Have a
that's why
saltwater fish tank.
it fits so well. And I'm a little drunk, and this is a specialty of mine because I really like fish tanks. But yeah, no, you do have to like react in the moment. You can kind of plan. You can be like, I think these are the best things that would fit in this tank, and not eat all the other fish I have. I did this.
And
with my-
sometimes you're wrong.
And sometimes you're super fucking wrong.
Right, and there's one fish
Yeah.
left.
And
he's fat.
sometimes the dwarf angelfish that you buy suddenly is no longer a dwarf angelfish because they fucking ripped you off, and it's gigantic and it's eating all your other fish.
You know what?
Awfully,
the problem is that your
Specific,
players are not going to be other fish that join in the fish tank. Your players are the fucking cats that are like perched on top. They're like,
No, the fish.
I'm gonna get this.
They're the
Oh, see, I think the adversarial GM is the cat.
Yes, that is what that is. No, he's a fucking little kid.
Right,
Briggs
yeah.
is like, fishy,
That's-
like
yeah.
pounding on the glass.
Basic kid.
Yeah.
Banging on the glass.
Yeah.
You know, we have a saltwater fish tank in my shop. And did I ever tell you the story about the red snapper?
No.
We had it's salt tank, and we had a lionfish, beautiful lionfish with his fins is like this big around, big.
Speaking of toxic,
I mean, they can get huge, they
Yeah,
can get
they're
big,
beautiful.
but he was for the size of the tank. He was
Yeah.
big.
can't they kill you if they sting you?
I don't know.
They can't kill
Kimmy
you.
would
I don't
know.
think they could
No,
kill you.
no,
Yeah, they-
No, because the fish guy got stung once.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah,
it hurts really bad
yeah.
for a long time. But it doesn't kill you. We didn't have to like call it ambulance or anything. But he said, I'm going to put a red snapper in there. This is the meanest fish there is. Because we had a fairly aggressive tank. We had a lot of stuff in there that like to eat other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're good. He like talks up this red snapper, and then he puts the baggie in there, and then the red snapper at this point is maybe 2.5 inches long. He's a little guy, right? So he opens the bag up, puts the fish in there. Lionfish goes up to him, boom, eats him,
Just gone.
just his tail sticking out.
Yeah.
And we look at him and we're like, do we have to pay for that snapper?
The guy's still got the wet bag in his hand.
He's like, God damn it! He's trying to. He's like poking the lionfish with his little scrubby thing that he uses to clean the side of the tank, trying to get him to let it go.
Spit it out, you wee bastards!
Awesome.
Why would you think that would be okay? That's like a bite size.
Yeah. The red snapper is your carefully crafted big bad that you've developed all this backstory for.
Right, exactly.
And the lionfish is the like fucked up barbarian who just rolls a crit.
Oh my God.
Right.
We have to add
one
that.
shot.
Or the knife wielding rogue on a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
We have to add that to the Happy Jacks dictionary. Red snapper is also no mere hedge mage. Like those are the same things.
It is. It's a very similar story. That's probably why I found it so funny, because I saw in him me, and it's the same sort of thing. It's like you just talked up some shit, and then it got eaten by a lionfish.
I think you guys are liking this whole fish tank analogy.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Now that we talk about it, I'm a big fan.
I am too.
Yeah.
You guys brought up something really interesting, which is I think the key. Yes, of the many things you said, I think is the key. When did I become the sober one?
That's because there's no beer.
It's the key. Is the key to being a sandbox or a fish tank or whatever, and that's things are in the moment. Decisions are made in the moment.
Yes.
The stuff that the GM comes with is in the moment. I think that as long as things still happen in the moment, you are not really a sandbox. You're not really on a railroad. You're not really even in a fish tank, because you are actively reinventing the world and impacting the world beyond what the GM has come up with. And the GM is reacting in the moment to stuff that's happening. I mean, I think that's
very wise, Stork.
Well, yeah, a lot of these concepts, be it sandbox, fish tank,
Pool table.
cat box, whatever.
Pool table.
Pool table. These things are ways for the GM to sort of visualize
Yes.
the reality and the fiction of the game.
right.
And whatever it is that works for you, works for you.
If you need to have a world that you've completely fleshed out with governments and everything for you to run the game, that's great.
Right.
And maybe it's a sandbox in your head, but if that's what it takes for you to run that game, go for it. If you're like Stu and you're like, let's see, I thought about it for about 20 minutes while I was setting up. I think we're good to go. That's also legitimate.
Yeah.
Because again, you're in the moment and you're going to make these decisions because no matter what you've planned, stuff is going to happen anyway that you roll with.
And also, you brought up the word that gets thrown around as like the insult against, or like, you know, when people are like open world or sandbox, and people are like, as long as it's not railroad. And this is one of the things that I wanted to
Railroads built this country, man.
Exactly. There is nothing wrong with railroads. In the hands of a good GM and players who want to be on that rail, that's fun. Yeah. You can have a lot of fun with that. And I know people who really enjoy that. And the GM will say things like, okay, you go down that hallway and you open the door, and here's what you see. And you're like, I shoot it. You can't, because it's invisible. You know,
how did I see it?
I'm just coming up with something off the cuff. I'm an improv guy. But the point is, like, there are GMs out there who will tell you what your character is doing. And you don't really have a choice in doing that. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily bad. Mm-hmm. If the GM and the players are agreed on what are the limits of that, or what are the restrictions of that. Mm-hmm. And also, like, I don't think it's really bad to get into a game and the GM says, okay, here are the parameters for your characters, and here's the kind of story that we're going to tell. You're going to be going on these types of missions for this organization. Come up with why you're in this organization and why you're going to follow the orders.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with getting those kinds of restrictions and parameters.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. I'm going to be running Traveler. I'm going to start a Traveler game January 13th. January 13th. We need to have a Care-Gen. Is that going to be the Care-Gen?
Yeah, we have to stream that. That's the best part.
I know we have to, but it would be nice if I had the characters and then had a little more time to prep afterwards.
After I just got used to saying that you did it in 20 minutes.
Right. No, I've been prepping that game, but I've been prepping the setting. Mm-hmm. Because it's going to be the same setting as Ashes of Exodus, but 10 years later. But I'm coming up with, here are the news agencies that exist in this interstellar community. Yeah. Here are some of the corporations. here are the merchant guilds and the houses within the merchant guilds and all of this kind of stuff. I'm just coming up with sort of the background stuff to help have some sort of structure to the society.
Right.
And I forgot what I was going to say.
So you're basically putting like your little fake ship and the fake plastic plants in there.
Yes.
And the gravel.
Right,
yes.
And all that stuff, and you're going to fill it with water, like, and get ready for us to destroy everything.
Right, and you guys will be the
Right, yeah.
lionfish I drop into the tank full of red snappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we're going to be the red snapper
Drop
that
into
we
a
drop
tank
into
full of
the
lionfish.
Well, and people talk about like video game analogy. People talk about like Fallout and what's the Skyrim, you know, all of those as like, oh, they're so open world, they're so like sandboxy. But you like your entire backstory is kind of played out. Like it's all given to you. Like, oh, okay, you were in this vault, and this is what happened in the vault. And you're now an adult, and this is what has brought you up to this point.
And it's not all that open world because you still get a limited amount of choices that you can make. You get a dialogue box of 4 choices.
Exactly.
And ultimately, 3 of them then go to the same place.
Yeah, a lot of people who are sold on this idea of, oh, I want an open world, I want a sandbox, I want all the choices. You actually don't. And most of the time when you're given all the choices, you sit around and you debate how to break into the jail for 4 hours and then like go end up petting cats instead.
Well, and some people like that. Like, I think
Yeah.
like we hit it on the head. Like I love that type of game. I don't mind sitting and debating with people for 4 hours about how to break into the thing. That might drive some people absolutely bonkers.
Me.
Yes. But you are also like one of the most open world GMs I've ever played for.
Yeah.
So like, it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like having played in a number of
Do whatever
games,
you want, just don't talk about it.
Yeah,
For very long.
Do whatever you like as long as you just do it quickly without planning.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I run.
Yeah. So I mean,
You're going to succeed anyway. Don't worry about it.
Right, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Just stumble through the plan. You'll get
be
there. I'll make
good.
sure it happens.
yeah. So I mean, as long as everyone's enjoying themselves, I don't know if it's bad. I think we end up with negative terms like railroad, because a lot of times railroading is used negatively when people are wanting a more open experience, and then they are being felt like they feel like they're being shut down.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's what railroading has become, more like, hey, like I'm being shut down by the GM.
It's actually a player agency issue and more or less
Yeah,
of an open world
that
thing. It's
tends
where
to
the
be.
GM forces choices
Well,
on your characters. That
I think I don't know. I don't remember if it was Tap Your GM, but their definition of railroading, which I think is probably the most accurate I've heard of, is railroading is a situation where the player's decisions have no effect on the game world.
Again, that's
Yes.
a player agency issue.
Yeah.
But it's not player agency, but it's like whatever your character
Yes.
decides to do with your character won't affect the story at all.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And that's unfun for almost all
Yeah.
players, except the most passive that might exist. I have to mention the chat room.
Okay.
Master Vidar.
They've been rocking it.
RPGs are like a garbage dump, full of junk with the occasional garbage fire.
Yes.
Because PCs set things on fire.
It's the best.
But sometimes you find the coolest, like, half headless Barbie
Yeah. This is
Right.
Or
exactly.
headless people.
or headless people.
All right.
It's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you very much. Do we even talk? Yes, we did. Okay. Thank you.
Actually addressed their problem? I don't
I'm
know.
still suspicious that this is that you
The
were
Swedish
trolling.
fish issue, yeah.
This is a Swedish troll. Thank you very much. There, Johan from Sweden.
Oh,
New World of Darkness
Best
from
movie.
Eric in New Jersey.
Okay.
Who would like to read this?
I can do it.
Sure.
All hail Stu and the crew.
Let me just say I'm a big fan of the new. Well, it's not new now, but the Chronicles of Darkness book.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Is that? I feel like we're.
Onyx Path.
Yeah. No, I know. I feel like you're spoilers.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Well, it said New World of Darkness, and that's their.
Yeah. Well, all hail Stu and the crew. It's Eric from New Jersey here, wishing all of you a happy holidays from the fabled Garden State. Well, the northwestern part of the state that could be called that. As you move east towards New York City, it becomes the land of the strip malls. First off, my subject line could also be called "Shit I don't want to talk about." So that's that.
Oh, his original subject line was armor class, sandbox, crunch,
All the dead horse topics.
all of the graveyard of horses.
Yes, that keep getting beaten over and over again. All right.
Gotta kill that damn necromancer.
Second, I know I posted something about this in the shiny new forum. Check that out at happyjack.org/forum.
Or happyjacksforum.com.
Yes, that too.
$8 a year, going to get their money out of that.
But I wanted to get the views of the host as well. I'm putting together a new World of Darkness Mortals campaign.
Yes.
That is much more Call of Cthulhu than any version of World of Darkness.
Yes.
Honestly, I would want to run something with dice pools as opposed to percentile dice and
Fuck
new world.
percentile dice. Sorry, I'm glad. Sorry.
You're drunk. It's okay.
I'm
and
not drunk.
I know you're not.
Stop interrupting. You're interrupting.
And
Actually interrupted yourself.
No,
Carry on.
Oh, no, wait a second. And another thing.
and New World of Darkness seems like it can do chthonic stories quite nicely.
I like Cthulhuific.
Hey, we're reading over here.
Over here.
I gotta get
That's
pictures.
amazing.
And Cthulhuific is better than Chthonic.
Chthonic. Both are really fun to say. I don't know.
Cthulhuific.
Cthulhuific. That's pretty amazing. I've had enough of the modern world built with cults and victims and nameless horrors.
Right.
But my sticking point right now is to apply the player characters to the situation. Are they part of a secret society? Are they ghost hunters like those plumber guys? Is it a counselor who got together former patients who she realizes now are more sane than she realized because they actually saw monsters?
Right.
That's good. I am stuck and could use some suggestions. I think everything I have thought up has been overused tropes, but it could be just me being hypercritical. Then again, I was thinking for laughs of having them meet in a bar. I would also like to again recommend Stu a book called Second Sight for New World of Darkness, or Chronicles of Darkness. I believe they are calling it these days.
Yes, they are.
It's
fantastic. Go ahead.
It is primarily about the psychics and their ilk, but there's nameless horror section that takes you through the process of creating chthonic entities. Cthulhuific. It actually starts... We hang out together too much.
Oh, is it?
Okay. It actually starts with asking what sort of person would choose to worship such a being and branches out from there. Stu, I recommend this for your moment of truth horror setting because it does give a unique perspective of how to figure out these horrific entities. On a side note, I wanted to tell you that I'm thankful for you guys. I enjoy the banter. I enjoy the diversity of the cast in gender, race, and orientation. I even enjoy Stork playing Devil's Advocate, though he exaggerates his bad dice rolls.
Yes, he does.
We have APs to prove it. Enjoy the holidays, and may the new year find every last one of your hosts well. Sincerely, Eric from New Jersey.
Thank you, Eric.
On the Eric NJ on the forums.
That was awesome.
And the moral of this story, Stork, is go ahead and buy those pretty dragon dice.
Oh,
Yes.
yay. A
Now-
gift for myself.
Now, I just looked up Second Sight.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes up, I'm not 100% sure. I think this is a pirate site where the PDF is on there for free. So White Wolf or Onyx Path, if anyone is fans of them, I'm not going to go to it because who knows, I might get a virus anyway.
Right.
Because I was looking it up, and I figured Drive Through or White Wolf would be first, and this other thing is first. So
Interesting. I used to have, I think, the actual book, and if not, I think I have a PDF. I can loan it to you or something, but I'll check. But yeah, actually, the Second Sight book is pretty good. I'm gonna come out here and let everyone know that I am a big fan of New World of Darkness, as long as you don't go into the settings. Just the core book and the and all of the mythology books I think are really great. And I just didn't like the changes they made to the lore. Actually, like the gameplay, sure, that was fine. Although I think the 20th edition version is actually better.
you're talking about of Old World.
Of Old World, yeah. But the New World of Darkness, I think actually for a Mortals game is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And like the vampire and werewolf and all of those are just they're just too much, especially if you try mixing them. But just playing Mortals in New World of Darkness, I have been wanting to do that since that book came out.
I've been wanting to run one of those games.
Really?
When he read this, I'm like, God damn it, you stole my thunder? 'Cause that's one of the things I want to do in the next year.
Like Kimmy and I have been talking about, because I'm going to run something in the spring, and that was one of my ideas.
Right.
It's just that I
Except you
was
want to
afraid
play in it.
I want to play it, yeah. But I was afraid it would be too similar to Interpol X, because I would, but I could do Americana.
That's fine. It's been a year.
Make it FBI X.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, yeah. Interpol X, but you're in Oklahoma division.
Americana Vampire.
Yeah, Americana Vampire.
Y'all must be the government people.
Yeah.
Remember that in X-Files?
Yes.
The vampire episode?
That's right.
He did not talk like that.
That was a great episode. Oh my god.
One of the best.
Anyway, I think the New World of Darkness, especially for mortals, is really good, and it would be very easy to throw in a sanity system. I mean,
That'd be cool.
World of Darkness is so it has that system of like the degrading scales worked in so ready already. You
Right.
know, like with humanity and
Now, do you have
and
Chronicles
all
of
those.
Darkness, the sort of expanded, updated version of New World?
Is I don't know that I got that one.
Oh, it only
can't
came out a
remember.
year or two ago.
Oh, then no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's basically cleaned up
Nice.
New World, but it includes
Oh.
the God Machine Chronicles in the
Oh,
end of
really?
it. I'm not 100% sure, but there
Yeah.
might be fear mechanics in there now,
Yeah.
or something that you could adapt.
And if they're not, they're really easy.
Yes.
It'd be
Otherwise,
really easy
you're going to
put
fall into the problem of a sanity box. I was actually looking at this, thinking to myself.
I've been drinking,
That was
so it took a second.
Yeah, I did. Even Adam. He
was
was
slow.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a slow burn. I was sitting here thinking that because he has a question about tropes, that it's going to be unavoidable
Yeah.
to drop into some tropes, whether it's the Ghostbusters or Scooby-Doo, which are remarkably similar if you think about it.
Yep.
Or whether
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer in it, you're going to end up with some of these tropes, and it's
Yeah.
kind of up to the players and how they're going to flavor their monster hunting group.
Right.
That's just the caveat. That's the buy-in that we all have to deal with, is the fact that I really of the ideas you had, I really like the whole therapist.
I like that one.
And the former patients. I mean, it's very BPRP, from Hellboy. It's
Yeah,
very much this older maybe professor that's gathered together these extraordinary people because shit's going down.
See,
Or no, I pictured
Yeah.
like a young professional
Could also
woman
be that
who was
too.
like, "Oh, these poor people."
Right.
Like,
It's also going to depend on your characters. So, what they want to play, what they roll up, or
See, I was thinking members of a group therapy group who are like a PTSD group or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that, and these people have had this experience, and they don't want to talk about it, and they're coming to these meetings because obviously their life is degenerating,
Yeah.
and they all know that no one's going to believe them, but it's one of them shares maybe during the course of the meeting, and then other people are like,
Yeah.
and that's of the tropes. That's by far the least tropey. It's definitely
yeah.
not Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
It's got a whole different vibe to it.
And also, I'm going to tell you, railroad that shit. Like, put them in that therapy group, and then
Yeah.
you play the therapist and like guide them through that, and like they'll fix it for you. You just like nudge them that direction. But yeah, I totally agree with Stork. Like let the tropes happen. They're gonna have. It's fine. Tropes are tropes because they're fun. We like them. They're good. Like
they
yeah.
resonate.
Yeah. Do you think there's been a really original love story since Romeo and Juliet? No. Like Shakespeare wrote like the same play 12 times, and they're all fantastic. So it's fine. Tropes are fine.
We're gonna have two twins this time. It's entirely different.
Right?
Two
Totally different.
sets of
There's
twins.
twins. Yeah.
This one takes place in Verona.
Oh, Verona!
yeah.
So much different.
These twins, one's male and one's female.
Oh, mind blown.
Yeah.
How innovative!
Yeah, it's totally fine. But the other thing I was gonna say another.
But tropes are fine. Tropes
Yeah.
are great, and there's a reason they're tropes. Even
Yes.
Shakespeare wrote the same story over and over.
Yeah, tropes are fine.
I think
and
he was looking for what he was about to say next.
Oh.
Yeah,
what
there-
he just said.
Well, I was trying to do that to remind him.
No, I appreciate
that's how
that.
that's how I work.
Yeah, because that was what
I have
was,
to go back over the same ground.
That was
Right.
what was supposed to happen next. Oh, I know what it was. So look in Monster of the Week. There is in the professional playbook. There's a little thing for figuring out what the agency is, or actually not in the professional playbook. There's a whole section on the agency in the GM guide as well, and it has some things about like picking like these are the things that the agency has that are good, and these are the drawbacks, and just use that as like question prompts, and decide or have or ask the players. And you guys create the agency as a character almost.
Yeah.
And it's super easy.
I was just thinking, if you did the group therapy thing where you have the GM playing the facilitator or the leader of the thing, have him be sort of the disbeliever who's kind of shutting them down. And then have them go meet in a bar. Because he mentions having them meet in a bar.
Right.
And then they all go to the bar together and they're like, okay, I know what I saw.
Yeah. Right?
And they can have that conversation. But maybe even make the facilitator of that meeting be not necessarily the bad guy. But one of the things that I'm working on for the horror setting, I've stopped working on it because I have other things to do. For a Moment of Truth is the mental health people are the enemy because they are reinforcing the reality, not intentionally, but they're reinforcing the reality that most of us think is real. And if you come in and say you see ghosts or you see monsters or you're having dreams about nightmarish elder gods, they're eventually going to want to lock you up because you might be a danger to yourself or others. They're not doing it because they're the heavy, but just by the circumstances of the situation you're in, they are not your friend.
Right.
No.
Wasn't that Brad Pitt's character in 12 Monkeys?
Kind of, kind of. And so, well, no, Brad Pitt was...
Legitimately crazy?
Yeah, he was legitimately crazy.
But what you're saying is the crazy people actually know what's going on.
Right. But if you could even set up, because that's one of the things that I thought would be kind of cool, is there's really no help for you. That's the thing that I think that makes a horror game, at least to me, really makes it scary, is you're alone. There might be 3 or 4 of you that believe this, but they not another soul on the planet that does. And if they are, they're on their side. You know what I mean? But that having that sense of aloneness where you can't pick up the phone and call the cops because the cops are taking you away,
Right?
Not the bad guys that you say.
That's a really key element, and that's how you make this thing. I'm going to say Lovecraftian rather than the whole Cthulhu thing because it's just gotten too out of hand. Lovecraftian because that way.
Cthulhu-rific.
Lovecraftian because you're still isolated and nobody's going to believe you and you're still stuck with you and maybe 4 other people like, did you just see that? We can't tell anybody. Nobody's going to believe us.
Right.
You're completely alone.
And maybe they found that out the hard way. Maybe one of them goes to the cops, and the cops say, just stay right here, and social services.
He wants to do a 72-hour hold on him or something.
Right,
yeah.
I mean, maybe they all meet because they're in their 72-hour hold, and this is their court-mandated
That's
group therapy.
genius.
There you go.
You guys all beat the drunk tank of the local.
Oh, they have to go. They have to go to meetings afterwards, right?
Oh yeah, you could start it like the PBTA questions, like write your own questions. Like,
Done.
where were you picked up?
I wanna play
why
this
were you in
game now.
72-hour hold?
Yeah.
You met one of their character at the table during this process. When did you, like,
Done.
Right?
something-
Yes. Yeah.
Look, it worked itself out.
Right.
I want to play this game.
What was the
No,
one thing you
me
had
too.
on you that you were embarrassed about when they processed it?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. Oh my God, Stu, run this game for me in store.
Okay. All right, I will.
Okay. All right.
I totally will.
Yeah.
Totally.
No,
I will.
he
I will
has
absolutely.
stop distracting him. He's just starting to plan his traveler game.
I want him to plan the game that I'm going to get to
But
play.
wait till he's done with
Right.
at least planning it or started
Fine.
this first session.
Fine.
You don't
whatever.
understand his short
His Schwartz?
his short time, like, well, his shorts, I don't know, but his short attention span, like very short attention span.
Attention span of a goldfish.
You do.
Who?
Shorting your
All right. Thank you, Eric from New Jersey,
Yes.
or Eric from NJ for the email. And it's time to end.
All right.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Oh, wait. That's the fun page.
Isn't that your life though? Always on the wrong page.
I'm on the
Yes.
wrong page.
Oh, wait.
Go away, Peyton.
Where's the other one? Hold on. I want to play one more.
He's
Where is
very
it?
excited
Where is it?
when
There we
it's
go.
Why problem make when you know problem have you don't want to make?
There it is.
Thank you, EasyRollerDice.com. I forgot.
Yeah?
You for sponsoring this episode.
Yep.
Go to EasyRollerDice.com/DragonDice for their Kickstarter. It's hit. It's going to happen. They're going to ship.
They're very cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they're going to ship once it closes and they get all the dice. But thank you very much for sponsoring the show. Thank you very much for your support, and support the show by supporting the sponsors.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
It's not too late if you order now.
EasyRollerDice.com/DragonDice.
Yep. And who are we?
Don't we do that during the thing?
Yeah. But you,
Okay, I'm going to play it now.
Ready?
I'm sorry, Adam, what did you say?
Oh my god.
Not that.
Thank you for joining us for season 23, episode 10 of Happy Tech RPG Podcast. My name is Stu.
My name is Kimmy.
My name is Adam.
You guys are hammered.
We're not! We barely had anything to drink.
I'm just really silly tonight.
Interrupting cow.
Move.
Next Friday, we're going to have another show. Season 23, episode 11, probably. Unless I lose count. Thank you very much. We'll leave you with a song.
Bye.
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 Now shipmates listen unto me, I'll tell you in this song of the things that happen to me when I come home from Hong Kong. To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
As I walked out to Chatham Street, a fair maid I didn't meet. She asked me pleased to see her home. She lived on Bleecker Street. I said, my dear young lady, I'm a stranger in this town. I got off ship just yesterday. From Liverpool she was bound.
To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
Now, if you'll only come with me, you can have a treat. I'll buy a beer and brandy and 10 F's for her to eat. I took her out to Tiffany's and I spared no expense. I bought her 2 gold earrings and they cost me 15 cents.
To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
And when we reached the barroom, the drinks was handed round. The liquor was so awful strong, my head spun round and round. When the drinking it was over, we straight to bed did go. But little did I ever think she'd prove me overthrow.
To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
When I came to next morning, I had an aching head. And there was I, Jack, all alone, stark naked on the bed. I looked all around the room, but nothing could I see but a lady's shifting apron, which now belonged to me.
To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
Everything was silent, the hour was 8 o'clock. I put my shift and apron on and headed for the dock. The old man cried, boy, Jack, my boy, I'm sure I could have found a better suit than that by far to buy for 80 pounds.
To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? So come on, me police, sailormen, take a warning when ashore, or else you'll meet some charming girl who's nothing but a whore. Your hard and cash will disappear, your rig and boots as well. For Yankee girls is tougher than the other side of hell. To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka? To me, ways and tea, my dear Annie. Oh, you New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.
Bum, bum, bum.